Good evening, I'm Camden Cohn, and this is our Sports Ticker. The MLB draft began yesterday, and today, Nebraska baseball had their first players chosen. Josh Caron was selected in the 4th round with the 121st pick to the Seattle Mariners. With his 4th round selection, Caron became the highest Husker catcher selected since 1985, when Bill McGuire was picked 27th overall by the same Mariners. Caron was one of 2 catchers nationally to hit at least 300 at the plate, with 15-plus homers and 65-plus runs driven in this season. And Brett Sears was selected in the 7th round, 221st overall, by the Atlanta Braves. Sears is the 6th Husker to be selected by the Braves and joins former Huskers Spencer Schwellenbach and Aaron Bummer in the Atlanta organization. The U.S. men's basketball team played another exhibition game today, this time against Australia. The U.S. held on for a 98-92 win, but former Husker Jack McVeigh played 11 minutes for Australia, had 9 points and 1 rebound. The U.S. will be back in action Wednesday against Serbia at 11 a.m. In Husker wrestling news, incoming freshman Camden McDaniel claimed his 2nd straight gold medal at the 2024 Pan American Games in Peru over the weekend. McDaniel went 3-0 and outscored his opponents 30-0 to earn the gold. And finally, the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby takes place in Arlington tonight. The participants include Pete Alonso, Omaha native Alec Boehm, Adolis Garcia, Gunnar Henderson, Teoscar Hernandez, Marcell Ozuna, Jose Ramirez, and Bobby Witt Jr. The event is scheduled to start at 7 and can be watched on ESPN. Hour 1 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here come the Razorbacks, bumping over the left. Gillen, she's stopped. Rick Allen, block number 11 for the team 16. They're body bumping in Lincoln.
Dillon turns, hands it off to Dowdell, left side, bounces to the outside, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dante Dowdell.
Shelley throws down low. Markowski kicks it out to Jazz, knocked away by Marshall. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Shelley for 3. You betcha! Huskers take their first lead of the game with 30 seconds left.
Here's the 2-2 pitch.
Called strike 3. Breaking ball outside corner. Make it an even 10 for McConaughey, and the Hoosiers leave 2 more here in the top of the 7th.
Now the 3-2, and Bretwell swings and hammers it deep center field. She's gone! Home run, Eva Bretwell, and a 2-0 lead for the Cornhuskers.
Tominaga with 9, 8, 7, starts down the right side, goes to the right sideline, 4 seconds, step back, 30-footer. Got it! Unbelievable! I don't believe what I just saw. Tominaga knocks it home.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
Just a couple of radio folks trying to stay cool. My goodness, it was hot out there today. I hope everybody was taking the proper precautions with the heat index today, climbing up to 114 in Lincoln. It was a toasty one. The good news is, kind of over. Tomorrow we drop back by about 10 degrees, and then later in the week we get back into some below normal temperatures. So the heat wave will not last all that long. Hope you had a great weekend. Even though it was hot outside, probably a lot of you just kind of stayed indoors or maybe by a swimming pool. The road race did go off yesterday, Jess. They didn't have to worry about thunderstorms. The heat, though, I'm sure they had to take some precautions for that. But by all accounts, it was a successful event yesterday at Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, it really was. It looked like to be a good turnout. I know they were making plans for all of that, and I'm glad they got to run it because, yeah, last year it got derailed. They made the best of it, but the fact they were able to run and start on the field and to be able to have all the participants do the tunnel walk, and it's just such a neat event. And so, and I know it's fun for the Husker players to get out there and do something like that during this time where it's really hard right now. It's a challenging time. So a great turnout, and I know raised a lot of money, continuing to add to that big chunk of change that they've been able to contribute to the Team Jack Foundation and the pediatric cancer research. So yeah, great event, and hopefully everybody is not too sore today.
Yeah, no doubt. I hope everybody had a great time. And thank you, everybody, for participating and taking part in that. I know it's something very near and dear to the Husker football program's heart, and the players love it. Jess was talking to Luke Lindemeyer last week about it, talked to some of the other ones about it as well, and they do. They generally love being a part of that thing. And I think for the newcomers to the event, maybe takes them a little while to warm up to it, but then they see how much the veteran players on the team wrap their arms around it, and they quickly get on board and get it. I saw Dylan Raiola signing a bunch of autographs yesterday, so that was great. So hope everybody had a good time. Hope you hydrated before and afterwards, and come back next year. Run it again when they put it on. So I'm sure it'll be a part of the event again next year. Next week is Big Ten Media Days. Nebraska will appear on Wednesday. It's going to be a 3-day event. Now that the conference has grown to 18 teams, the 4 Pac-12 schools now joining the league, so they've broken it up into 3 days, not 2. Huskers will be in the middle day of the 3, so they'll be there on a Wednesday next week. The SEC started today. They have a 4-day event. I mean, my goodness, they asked their media to come down there and camp out for an entire week. One of the schools that went today was Ole Miss, coached by Lane Kiffin. And when we told you Thursday on the show, we had to report the sad news that Monty Kiffin, his dad, the former Husker, the former Lexington, Nebraska product, had passed away at the age of 84. Lane talked about it today in his opening statement, and he said, quote, "There's very few superheroes and very few great ones that loved everyone and tried to help everyone they came in touch with forever. Whether you were big or small, whether you were wherever you were, he tried to help." Kiffin said that he was in awe of his dad and how much his dad helped him in his coaching career. Monty Kiffin was revolutionary. Obviously did a great job at Nebraska, part of those 70-71 championship teams on the coaching staff. Went on to invent that Tampa 2 defense that we hear so much about in pro football and college football now alike. That was his brainchild. He literally was one of the great defensive minds. But Ole Miss went today. I didn't really see that there was a ton of news out of the SEC Media Days other than, I guess, Nick Saban, who's now working for ESPN, tried to just walk in and didn't get his credential first, Jess, and he got stopped and said, Coach, you got to go get a credential. We just don't let anybody into these things. I think that was kind of a fun little thing for Nick Saban to have to be humbled a little bit. Go get your credential, Coach.
Welcome to this side of it, Coach Saban. You know, I mean, you got to do things a certain way. And so I thought that was hilarious that, you know, just you creature of habit, you do things how you always do them. But then at a lot of these places, they're pretty strict on those credentials. So he'll have to learn without being in his, I guess, Alabama gear and with all the Alabama folks that you can't just walk around and pull the Nick Saban card anymore. I mean, you gotta have that credential. But I'm interested to see how much he does with the network and then how he continues to evolve and how much of a staple he becomes to the TV production side of things.
What I've seen, he's pretty good.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I think they would love to have him on the set of Game Day. Now, he wants to commit. That's a big commitment. I mean, they're there every week, and they have long production meetings on Fridays, and I mean, it's a commitment. Now, whether he wants to do that for the full season, I don't know, or is he going to do partial part of it? You and I have kind of felt like for a couple of years that Game Day has gotten stale, that they've lost their edge a little bit. I really prefer the Fox pregame show. It's not. It's an hour shorter. I think ESPN got too greedy and went too long, adding that extra hour to their pregame show, and I think they kind of ran out of content for it. But maybe Saban can jump some life back into that. I don't know, because we're so tied with Fox now. I'll probably still lean when I'm home and we're not on the air ourselves. I'll probably still lean to watching the Fox coverage a little bit more, just because they're going to be probably talking more Big Ten than ESPN will do.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think just in their own interest that the Game Day show will probably, but they probably will not make as big of a focus, as big of a push on the Big Ten Conference. That's going to be fascinating how ESPN approaches this season, because you have some teams that you're going to have to talk about if you want to stay legitimate and be a legitimate pregame show. But how are they going to approach talking about some of these matchups that maybe are really big and interesting in the Big Ten realm of things, but maybe not as much on the national scale of things? How do they go about that, being that they're not on their network anymore. So yeah, I don't know. I'm with you though. I lean towards the Fox show these days. I think I enjoy the pace of it. I think they've got some great commentary. It's pretty fair, and they have a lot of fun. And I just like the way that they built it up and built it into the big noon kickoff. And so yeah, I tend to lean towards that crew as well.
ESPN to me got just too silly, too kind of just jokey, and inside jokes between the hosts, and I just don't think that plays real well. Where Fox is more down the middle. Even Urban Meyer's pretty good on the Fox pregame show, and he was kind of a curmudgeon when he was a head coach, but he's really actually become pretty good on that. We're only about 6 Saturdays away from that jumping back up and getting going. I know everybody around here is going to certainly be excited. The Huskers have Media Day, as I mentioned, next week. They report on the 30th, first practice on the 31st, and then they're going to have that open practice for 1890, and the ticket sales are on right now. Huskers.com is where you can go find information about that. Matt Davison's going to join us here in a little bit and kind of give us an update on what is happening with 1890 that now has kind of been folded almost in a way into the athletic department. And the two are kind of working as one, which I think is a really good thing for the university. Also, you're seeing, I think, 1890's impact on more sports. When it first started, it was really just football and volleyball, but it certainly has gotten into the ball bat sports and basketball with a big help for that as well. So we're going to get an update from Matt coming up here in a little bit. Hour number 2, Jessica, a while back, had a chance to catch up with Princewill Umanmielen, who, man, did he come onto the scene last year. He battled some injuries, but when he was healthy, Jess, he was a really disruptive guy along the defensive front for Nebraska. So I can't wait to hear your conversation with him coming up in hour 2.
Wait till you see him, too. He looks huge, has put on quite a bit of weight. You know, he was pretty thin. I mean, he was big, and he's got a big frame, but he's filled out the frame quite a bit. It was a big focus for him going into it. He's moved into the jack position solely. I mean, last year I'd be on the sidelines, and he'd be moving back and forth between Rob Dvorak's huddle and Terrence Knighton's huddle. And so, you know, they have that designated jack position now, so he's there. Feels like it's a great fit for him. Has settled into things. Thought the game was really slowing down for him towards the end of the season last year. But I think immediately, if you're watching on our YouTube stream, and Greg, once you see him, you're going to immediately see how much bigger he looks. And I think he felt like he needed to, and so he feels good going into this season. We'll see how he improves upon, like you said, a really good freshman year, which was not a easy ask for him to play where he played and just moving all over and being in different rooms. And so I think he is primed to make a pretty big jump this season.
You can't help but get excited about him, about Cam Lenhart, about Riley Van Poppel. Terrence has raved about Vincent Carroll Jackson, who's a part of that class but redshirted last year, so we really didn't get to see him a whole lot. You can't help but be excited about the future of that defensive line with all those big young bodies in there. So can't wait to hear that. And we're going to hear from Birdie as Jessica continues her interviews with new members of the Husker Athletic Department. And it's Alberte on the website, but I guess, and she's on the women's basketball team, a transfer from Florida, but she prefers Birdie, correct?
Yeah, she told me that was when we first met. She's like, I go by Birdie. So I love that. And she's already, I think, jumped out in the gym. This is a veteran guard that has played in that Power 5 level, and even in the SEC, I think is pretty physical league. They've got a lot of strong athletes. And so, I know when she first got in the gym, Coach Williams had told me that you can just tell that she's played a lot of high-level basketball, and her ability to get herself open and be physical and match up. So already making an impact. She went home back to Denmark. So we might have been a little bit sad that we lost the Australian accent of Jazz Shelley, but we have now added a Danish accent to this women's basketball team. So filling that void a little bit, but I think also filling the void and some of the other things that Jazz did. I think she is an incredible shooter, is going to be that knockdown presence to go along with Logan Nisley, can do a lot of different things, but just adding that veteran guard experience, you cannot undersell when you get that out of the portal.
No doubt. So we'll hear from her coming up in hour 2 as well. And by the way, we will continue our position breakdowns with football tomorrow night, Garrett McGuire will talk about that wide receiver room, which certainly has added a lot of depth in the offseason. So we'll continue that series of reports tomorrow night here on the program. And we want your input as well, 402-413-2400. That text line is always open and available for you. Hey, Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Sign up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is the official grocer partner of Husker Athletics and your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Visit your local Hy-Vee today. We're back to talk to Matt Davison of 1890 Nebraska. We'll do that next.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
When you switch and save with Progressive, you can use that money towards going to see your favorite team in the playoffs. Progressive cannot guarantee that you can go see your favorite team in the playoffs. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds on average, but we cannot guarantee that your favorite team will make the playoffs or even finish with a winning record. They could easily lose more than half their games and finish in the cellar because they stink badly and haven't made the playoffs in years. Savings? Very possible. Playoffs? Highly doubtful. Switch and see if you could save at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance and Affiliates, not available in all states. We cannot be held liable for your favorite team's terrible and frankly embarrassing performances now or ever.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture, and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Joined now by a guy that's not unfamiliar with microphones, my old partner in the booth, Matt Davison, now running 1890 Nebraska. How are you?
Oh man, it's good to be here with you, buddy. Everything's going well. Exciting time to be a Husker fan. There's a lot going on as we lead into the fall with all the sports coming back to practice here in just a couple of weeks, and there's always a lot changing with NIL. So, we're busy at 1890 trying to do the best we can to support our coaches and to support the athletic department. And there's a lot of good things going on.
All right. So last week, some announcements about you're now the official collective. And I think that word's even kind of being just pushed to the side of Husker Athletics. And it seems like there's more of a partnership between you and the athletic department. Is that accurate?
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, this has been an ever-changing thing for a couple of years, and Troy Dannon getting to Nebraska, spending time with him, and his vision and his leadership has really been key. And so I would say, yeah, we're working closer with the athletic department than we ever have. We've always had great relationships with our coaches. We're working with a number of sports on campus, and so it's been great, to have Troy here, and now we're working really closely with Tyler Kai and Derek Freeman at Husker Athletic Fund, and we're doing joint meetings, and we're able to give kind of a unified voice to our fans and our donors about what's important right now within Husker Athletics, and there's always things that are of the utmost of importance, and one of those funding priorities right now is NIL through 1890, and so to work with the athletic department hand in hand and to have a unified message, I think is really important in the landscape today across the country as you try to be competitive in this market. It's important that everybody's on the same page, and I think everybody's on the same page now.
What blueprint have you followed, or have you kind of, for the lack of a better term, made this up as you go? Because this is all so new to everybody.
Yeah, I mean, for sure, we're just trying to figure it out. I think everybody in the country has just been kind of pivoting when needed, trying to figure out the best ways to raise money, the best ways to work together with their coaches and their athletic departments. And I think every collective is shaped a little bit differently. We're unique here in the ownership of 1890, owned by the Peds, and what they bring to the table and all the resources they bring to the table, and not to mention the money of covering all the expenses and all of those things, really puts us in a unique position. And then you put that now with this new partnership with athletics and how closely we're working together. And, I think the sky's the limit for Nebraska now with NIL. And things are going to continue to change, right? I mean, we've seen things change over the last 2.5, 3 years, and they'll continue to change if revenue share hits and when that happens. And so there's going to be things that change down the road too, and we'll be ready for that. And that's why I think the communication being the same and having a great relationship with everybody in athletics and along with the collective, making sure everybody has, a unified message, again, back to the fans and the donors, is going to be key. And so I really love the way we're positioned moving forward to try to give our coaches the best chance to win.
You mentioned Tyler Kai in development. I think in the release last week it said something about if a donation comes to 1890, they can earn athletic department points. Is that accurate?
That's right. And so through 1890, under the umbrella, we have the 501c3 on one side and we have the LLC on the other. And essentially now our donors to athletics or 1890, they're eligible for priority points if they give to 1890. The university is recognizing those gifts as well and those contributions. And so it gives them a couple of different ways. We want to make it easy on our donors. And so if you want the tax deduction, 501c3, and all the great things that the 1890 Foundation is doing in the community with our student athletes, and all the nonprofit organizations that we've partnered with, then the 501c3 might be a great option for you. We also have the LLC, and that's where you make a contribution there, and the athletic department is going to recognize that gift. And so it's big for us. Tyler has been great. He's a hardworking guy, and Derek has been here a long time and is a longtime friend. And so working really closely with those guys now has been great. And we're sharing information, we're having joint meetings, and it's really the way Nebraska is supposed to be, with everybody working for the common goal and working towards it together. And that's what we're now doing.
Visiting again with Matt Davison, 1890 Nebraska. Coming up, I think, on your third year of starting at 1890. And I know initially it was totally based on football and some volleyball in there as well, but you've branched out from there, haven't you?
Yeah.
Sports?
Yeah, and it's been great. I mean, we've been working now, I think, 9 sports. It's been wonderful to work with Coach Rimdal and Will Bolt and Amy Williams. We're working with 9 sports, 150 student athletes now across those sports, and I'm sure it may grow, right? I mean, we want to help everybody, but we want to do a great job at it, right? And so we want to scale appropriately, and we want to be able to help when we can and where we can. And again, working here with everybody in athletics now more closely is going to allow us to, I think, do that moving forward.
So if somebody wants to make a contribution, can they direct where it goes? Can they say, I want this to support softball, or I want this to support Fred Hoiberg's basketball team?
Absolutely. So it's all on our website, 1890nebraska.com. And so essentially the way it works is you go on there and you fill out some information. You pick the sport on a drop-down menu that you would like to direct those dollars to, and then it goes into that pool for that sport to support that coach and that program. There's also a greatest needs. If you're just like, hey, I want to help Husker Athletics, there's a greatest needs tab where they can give there as well. And so we're trying to make it as easy as we can. The educational aspect of NIL is probably our biggest challenge, and that's where, again, our partnership here is so key. So that everybody's hearing the same message from our coaches and from our athletic director and from 1890 that, this is where we need you now. And right now it's a top funding priority for Husker Athletics. And when things change, we'll be ready for that in the future.
The other big announcement last week is there's going to be an open practice through 1890. Get your tickets purchased coming up in early August. I think it might be practice 4 for the Huskers. That's exciting. I don't think that's ever happened in Nebraska. Kind of an open practice during the fall.
Yeah, I mean, when NIL hit, I really felt like things like this is really what could separate Nebraska because of the passionate fan base we all know that we have. People love to come to Lincoln, or if they live in Lincoln, they love to come to the stadium. And so to open Memorial Stadium when football season's just getting kicked off in fall camp, it's a Saturday night, the lights will be on, the big screens will be on, you'll hear the sights and the sounds of a game day. And you get to see the Huskers practice early on in the year. Coach Rule was all about it, and so I appreciate him and Troy Dannon, obviously, for helping us make this happen. But it's going to be a fun night, and all of the ticket sales go to 1890 to support Husker football. And so hopefully we get a big crowd. It's a great way for people to preview the season, see their favorite players, see some of the new players that are on the roster. They're going to make a big impact this fall. I know Coach Rule is going to make it a lot of fun for the fans that do come out. And so anybody can go to huskers.com/tickets and get your tickets there. And hopefully we pack Memorial Stadium with as many fans as we can to help our NIL efforts.
You've been around a lot of coaches. Not everybody would be willing to throw the doors open in August, right? Because it's such a secretive business, so we don't want to. But he's been good, right, about this.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Rule has been awesome, in so many ways, and he's so supportive. And when we need him for an event, he's available, and he understands the importance of NIL, and he understands his role in it, and that's been great to work with him and his staff. And Sean Padden has been great over in the football office to work with him on a daily basis. And so this is just another opportunity for our fans to be able to show their support and, maybe bring your family out to see the team practice on a Saturday night in August and get kind of a preview of what's going to happen a few weeks later.
They can go get those tickets through Huskers.com, correct?
Huskers.com/tickets. Yep, $25, and all the money goes to NIL.
Matt, the convergence of the start of NIL and the transfer portal has made a crazy time. And that's got to make your job really hard, because you've got rosters switching over, basketball in the spring, football kind of around Christmas time. And it's really added to the workload of the coaches, I have to imagine.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably the two biggest changes in college athletics happened really fast, right? We used to be having to sit out a year was a pretty big deterrent for kids to not want to hit the transfer portal. You put that along with NIL, and it created a bit of chaos. And, you just do the best you can to try to navigate the whole thing. And that's why I feel lucky where I sit, because I love our head coaches. I think we have great people in those positions. Troy's leadership these last few months has made this partnership really, really hum. And so, we're in a good position here at Nebraska right now. And so this is all going to work out, and it's going to be advantageous for us. And I think we've already seen the way NIL has helped some of our programs. And I think this coming school year, you're really going to see how it's helped. Ultimately, we want to retain the best athletes that we have here, and we want to attract the best student athletes that are thinking about coming to Nebraska. And that's our goal. And working with our coaches has been great. And yeah, it's challenging at times, but it's really fun because We have great people here, and we all love this university. We love our programs, and we want them to have a great chance to be successful, and that's what we're striving to do every day.
In your previous life, you were working to raise money for the Go Big project, which is open to the, I don't think it's completely done, but it's close. It's going to be satisfying to kind of see a project come to fruition and now being used by student athletes.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, I look out this window and it's still a little bit surreal to me. It was many years ago, that I was trying to, talk with our regents and our AD and our president at the time, and trying to work out a way to maybe build a new facility. And fortunately, we got the right people on board with it, and then we have great donors that were able to make it happen.
Yeah.
And here we are now. And yeah, it was a lot of work. I mean, I think I know where about every door is in that place and every hallway and the locker room and all the great stuff that it provides to not just football, but every student athlete on campus. They're going to use it every day for decades to come. And so it's a beautiful building. It's going to help us recruit, and it's going to help us retain a lot of the best athletes that we already have here.
All right. Final message to the folks. If they want to get involved, best way to get, can they call? Is there a website that they should go visit?
Yeah, so go to our website. You can learn about everything you need to know about 1890 there, or you can email us. All of our information is on the website as well, 1890nebraska.com. And, we just want everybody to participate. Every gift matters. Our monthly gifts start at $10 a month, and we're trying to get as many of those as we can. And obviously, we're trying to raise as much money as we possibly can. And that's what Nebraska is good at, is getting behind something all together. And that's why Nebraska is already really good at this. And I think we're going to get better at it as time goes on. And it's just an exciting time to be a fan. And to work with our coaches has been wonderful. And so thank you to everybody that's helped us out there so far. And if you're interested, go to our website, check it out, and see the difference you can make in the lives of some of these young men and women.
Very good. Continued success to you. Let's get some tickets sold for that practice. That'd be great.
We're going to try. And Greg, it's great to be behind the mic in the same room with you, buddy.
Right?
You look great.
Thank you.
And it's wonderful to see you.
Kind of shaved the dome a little bit.
It looks like, I've been doing this for 16 years, but we're all behind you, buddy.
Thank you.
And thinking about you, and Husker Nation is with you.
Appreciate it. I can feel that every day from people out there. Good to see you.
You too, bud.
Matt Davison with us here on Sports Auto. Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner, 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. More of the show coming up.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Make it 0% APR financing. Make it a zero down payment, and make it no payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Only at your local Ford dealer.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. the official foundation company of the Huskers.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Discover a better car buying experience at Woodhouse Nissan. With 2 convenient locations in Bellevue and Omaha off of 144th and Giles Road. Explore our full lineup of vehicles like the sleek and efficient Nissan Sentra with advanced safety features, including the Nissan Safety Shield 360 that ensure peace of mind for your daily drive. Shop our current offers going on right now at WoodhouseNissan.com or WoodhousePlaceNissan.com today. This is Woodhouse Nissan.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Husker fans, check out the all-new Hy-Vee Perks program. Get signed up for the totally free Hy-Vee Perks program and enjoy exclusive perks pricing on hundreds of items in-store and online. Score big savings today at Hy-Vee.com/perks. Hy-Vee is the official grocery partner of Husker Athletics and your one-stop shop for making your life easier, healthier, and happier. Go visit your local Hy-Vee today. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you. Thanks for Matt Davison for coming by. He told me off air, Jess, that they're getting a tremendous amount of support for softball in the last couple of months. That just a real momentum for that program for Rhonda Revelle. And I know you had her on, I think it was last week. That doesn't surprise you, but they've had some fans who've stepped up and really helping to support that program. That's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, look, that's what it takes, right? I mean, at this point, at this day and age, when the transfer portal and all of that, and especially right now with the ball bat sport still having the limitation on scholarship numbers, which we think that will change, but as of right now, it's still the limitations. You know, having that NIL money is just huge. And so, what I love though, yes, it absolutely helps. But what I love what Coach Revelle said about a lot of those players. Most of them have some kind of Nebraska tie, whether they're from here, have family here, went to camp here, played with somebody on this current roster. But they all want to win ultimately, and they're competitors. And so they just have a bigger goal in mind than even the NIL stuff or anything like that. It's they're coming together because they want to do big things here at Nebraska. So it's a good group, and certainly the NIL stuff helps. But I think they got the right athletes that's what you want, right? When you start talking about the NIL, and yes, it's important, but the right athletes with that NIL money that know how to navigate that and understand that it's bigger than just the NIL part of it.
Well, and let's not kid ourselves. Jordy Ball being on your roster makes a big difference because those players are so familiar with her. They're like, we got a chance to win every game when she takes the circle. And so this is really odd to say, and I hope people don't take this wrong, but it might have been a blessing she got hurt this past year. We still have Jordy for 2 years. And so what a selling point for Rhonda and the staff to go, if you've got 2-3 years left, you're going to play 2 years with Jordy.
Well, Jordy will tell you it was a blessing. She'll first and foremost, she will say it was the best thing that could have happened to her. She'll come off of it, and it's still a work in progress. You know, it's a process when you have the knee. But, she had told me when we sat down a couple weeks ago now that with the whirlwind of how everything happened and playing for the national championship for Oklahoma and then going in the portal, coming home, all the pressure that's come along with that, everything that she's done, she didn't have a chance to sit back and breathe. And, she said that was, a blessing from God, because I wouldn't have otherwise. That, he said, no, you need to sit back, you need to breathe, you need to take it all in. And so it's a different perspective for her. She learned so much about herself, about this program, and just refining her love for the game, and just having a chance to sit back and take it all in and have a different perspective of it. And so she will absolutely, first and foremost, tell you that it was a blessing for her, that it will end up being one of the better things that's happened to her. But yes, absolutely. Then you throw in the fact that, we still have her for 2 years. And some of these players that sat back and watched that and watched what she did her first 2 years at Oklahoma, hey, I want to go be a part of that for 2 years, because, if you got the best pitcher in the country, that definitely sets you up for some things that, it takes a full team, and it takes more than one pitcher. But when you have a pitcher the caliber of Jordy Ball, absolutely it helps bring in some of that high caliber talent. There's no doubt about it.
Mark on our text line wants our thoughts about reports, and Troy Dannon made some comments to a local media outlet last week that we're going to switch Memorial Stadium from field turf to natural grass in 2026. Doesn't surprise me, Mark. I think Matt Rule has kind of made this pretty apparent over the last year that he prefers playing on natural grass. I think there'll be some challenges growing it in the stadium because of the east side stadium is going to keep a lot of sunlight off of that turf. But Jess, I'm not surprised at all. I think Matt Rule's made it pretty clear he wants grass inside Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, we've heard him say it since he got here, that's his preference. I will say, and I understand the how the stadium is set up, but there are programs that are just as north that have natural grass. Iowa State being one of those, Michigan State being one of those, and so it's doable. It's a challenge, and it's a lot of babying it. I know at Oklahoma, for example, they have natural grass, and so when I was there, they couldn't practice on it. They kept people off of it. They had to baby it to make sure that it could make it through a full season. So it's a challenge, but I don't say it's obviously not doable, or it wouldn't be in the works to be done.
So Mark, not surprised by it. A little caught off guard that Troy Dannon made those comments last week, but that's all signs point to that. They want to get 2 more years out of the field turf, because this is fairly new field turf. Remember, it only got put down a couple years ago. In fact, I think it might have been 3 years ago. So this field turf is not very old. So you want to get a little bit of use out of that. You spent a lot of money to put that down, but not surprised at all. Nebraska pretty much has turned all their practice fields into grass. They do have one right up next to the new complex that is field turf, and then obviously the Hawks indoor is field turf. But Matt Rule's a big proponent of grass, so not surprised by that at all. Well, we have a Final Four in our great moments of 2023-24. We talked about it last week. This is the online poll that all of you can vote on for the great sports moment of 2023-24 for Husker sports. And we're down to the Final Four, Jess. And do you have it in front of you? I know
yes,
a couple of them are not surprised by it all.
Yep. So here are the Final Four. The matchup on, I guess, the left side of the bracket, if you're looking at it on your screen, is Volleyball Day in Nebraska against men's basketball win over Purdue. So just a refresher, the Volleyball Day in Nebraska took the win over the volleyball win over number 1 Wisconsin. Men's basketball wins the number 1 win over Purdue, takes the win over soccer's Elite 8 run. So those are your 2 Final Four, or your matchup on that side of the bracket of the Final Four. Nebraska, Volleyball Day in Nebraska, and Nebraska men's basketball win over number 1 Purdue. On the other side of the bracket, so baseball, Big Ten tournament title knocks off Jackson Brockett's no-hitter. Are you surprised by that?
No, again, we talked about it last week. That I kind of thought that the team performances would outshine the individual one, and so I'm not surprised by that at all. I mean, they were both great choices, but no, I bet that of the quarterfinals, the quarterfinals, I bet that was maybe the closest vote. I would have to check with the folks in the corn crib, but I bet that was a close vote.
And then the other matchup, the other team in that one, or the other, I guess, moment, is the women's basketball win over Caitlin Clark in Iowa, and they knocked off Darius Luff's national title in the 110-meter hurdles just a few weeks ago. So it's Big Ten baseball tournament title against women's basketball's win over number 3 Iowa, and then Volleyball Day in Nebraska against men's basketball win over Purdue. So, but that, we were chatting in the break. That's a heck of a Final Four. If you can, again, just sitting here looking at all of those moments together, we've talked about it, a lot of it throughout the course of this whole year, and especially here recently with the Athletics Director Cup standings and all of that. But just sitting here looking at all these moments on one page, heck of a year for Husker Athletics.
Yep, and again, you had 2 individual performances on that with Darius and then Jackson, and I kind of felt like both team sports would win that, and they did. So you can now go vote. Voting is open for the Final Four at Huskers.com/top moments. Get in there, vote for your favorite ones. I see in the chat room some people are upset that some of the votes they put in last week didn't win, but get in there and do it again this week. See what you come up with. This has been kind of a fun thing to do in the middle of summertime to kind of reflect back. I love this concept, and I think we're on to something we'll do every year. Hopefully we have enough great moments like that every year to make it a really fun tournament.
Yes, that's let's keep this rolling. But again, shout out to our friends at Midwest Dairy who are making this thing happen, and they've been great partners. But yeah, fun little bracket challenge. I like it when you have to get on and vote and do something about it, because we could make our own, but I like hearing what the fans have to say and seeing how, if that matches up with what we thought, how we thought it would go, what does Husker Nation feel? And so far, I think it's pretty spot on, right? And in terms of when we were stacking it up, how we thought this thing might go.
Crypto King in the chat room says it's going to be Volleyball Day in Nebraska. I think you're right, Crypto. I think that's probably going to be the ultimate winner. I mean, I just don't know anything that could top that. I mean, packing a football stadium for a volleyball match, and the way the night turned out with the beautiful weather, concert afterwards, it's a moment people will talk about decades from now. So I think you're right, but we'll see. We'll let it play out. But yeah, again, thanks to Midwest Dairy, one of our great partners here at the HRN. All right, keep them coming on the text line, 402-413-2400. Woodhouse Auto Family, they are your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back to wrap up hour 1 next.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here. I feel better already.
The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Husker fans, the 2024 Nebraska football season is right around the corner, and we need your support in Memorial Stadium this fall. You can now purchase a Husker football 3-game mini plan for only $170. This plan includes tickets to UTEP or Northern Iowa, plus Illinois or Rutgers, and either UCLA or Wisconsin. Tickets are only available while supplies last. To purchase your Husker football 3-game mini plan today, or for more information, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too.
Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Woodhouse has been your premier destination for your automotive needs since 1975. Whether you're looking to purchase a new vehicle, sell your current one, or looking to service, our team ensures a convenient and seamless transaction from start to finish. Explore our wide selection of top brands and enjoy the peace of mind that comes with our team's dedication and decades of trusted service. Get started online at woodhouse.com and experience the Woodhouse difference today.
Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Monday night. Hope you had a great weekend. We are clicking off the weekends of summer, folks. We're getting way closer to that fall football season on August 31st. It's just around the corner. Dennis on our text line, any update on John Cook's horse's name? Do we have any update, Jess?
So I do know that the name has been finalized. Woo-hoo. They are going to announce it in the next episode of Kicking Back with the Cooks, which will be coming out this week. I've got to text in to find out which day they are planning, but the news, it will be official. We will know this week what Horse 413's official name is moving from here on out.
Everybody's holding their breath, waiting to find out the results of the horse's deal. Mike on our text line, shout out to the OGs in the YouTube chat. Absolutely. I like the hire of Jamar Mosey. Possibly might open the chance for his son to come here. He's a terrific wide receiver. Jamar has been added as an analyst to Matt Rural's staff. Longtime high school coach in the Kansas City area. Last year spent some time down in Florida as an analyst, and now hired by Matt Rural. So yeah, maybe you can connect the dots. So yeah, Mike, I think you're right. I think you're onto something. It's a good hire by Matt Rural. Gonna be interesting to see. I'm gonna wander over tomorrow to the football offices just to see if anybody's around. I gotta have a feeling maybe by the end of this week some of those guys start to trickle back in. You want these guys to get plenty of time away from the office, because this is really the only time during the year they get a chance to push away. Last week I was over there. I think Garrett McGuire was the only one that I bumped into in the offices, but I have a feeling by the end of the week the guys are going to get a little restless and kind of work their way back into the offices and get ready for camp on July 31st for the first practice session. It's going to be here before you know it. Big volleyball weekend. They had their dream camp going on, and my goodness, they had the best of the best, particularly some of the 26 athletes that were in Lincoln for the weekend. I mean, your jaw drops when you see some of the names that they bring in. And again, that just speaks to the height of John Cook's program, Jess, that he can attract that kind of talent for a volleyball camp, that everybody wants to kind of come see what Nebraska volleyball is all about. And what a great recruiting weekend to kind of show off your facilities and also expose your coaches to these great players.
Yeah, I got a chance to chat with Lauren Cook-West about the Dream Team Camp and just the importance of it to this program. And, it's a chance for some of these top recruits to come in and see how they fit, because a lot of it is what it's like to be a Husker volleyball player, what goes into a day-to-day, but also the competition in the gym. You're facing up against some of the best of the best. Where do you stand? And also, for the coaching staff in this program, what players can fit, right? Because they're going to get the talent, but you've got to get the right fits to this program at this point. And so, a lot of that is, twofold for that kind of camp and who you want to bring in and that can match some of the talent that you've already got coming in, already got committed and all of that. And then also for these players, I've found it just completely, it's really, it fires me up to hear, someone like Layla Blackwell and then Skylar Pierce, who I got a chance to chat with, that said, the competition is one of the big things that drew them here, and wanting to be a part of that and wanting to go up against the best in practice every single day. And even at the risk of maybe not having the kind of playing time that they could get guaranteed somewhere else, but wanting more and being okay with having to wait a little bit of time and doing whatever they can in the gym day in and day out. I love that, and a lot of that is what you see here at this Dream Team Camp, is just that battling it out and is this the right fit for you? I think a lot of players find that if this is what they want to be a part of or not.
And it works both ways. I mean, you can observe them as coaches and go, you know what? They're highly touted, but I don't know that they fit what we want to have here in Lincoln. So it kind of works both ways. The athletes can check out Nebraska volleyball and the coaches and decide if this is something they want to be a part of. But the coaches also they're sitting there evaluating these players and going, I can see them being a part of our program, or no, I'm not sure they quite fit with what we want to do here. So it does work both ways. Looking forward to that Kicking Back with the Cooks episode. Can't wait to find out the name of that horse coming up later here in the week. All right, next hour, Princewill, Umanmielen is going to be here. Also, Birdie, one of the new
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Good evening. I'm Camden Cohn, and this is our Sports Ticker. The MLB draft began yesterday, and today, Nebraska baseball had their first players chosen. Josh Caron was selected in the 4th round with the 121st pick to the Seattle Mariners. With his 4th round selection, Caron became the highest Husker catcher selected since 1985, when Bill McGuire was picked 27th overall by these same Mariners. Caron was one of 2 catchers nationally and hit at least 300 at the plate with 15-plus homers and 65-plus runs driven in this season. And Brett Sears was selected in the 7th round, 221st overall by the Atlanta Braves. Sears is the 6th Husker to be selected by the Braves and joins former Huskers Spencer Schwellenbach and Aaron Bummer in the Atlanta organization. The U.S. men's basketball team played another exhibition game today, this time against Australia. The U.S. held on for a 98-92 win, but former Husker Jack McVeigh played 11 minutes for Australia and had 9 points and 1 rebound. The U.S. will be back in action Wednesday against Serbia at 11 a.m. In Husker wrestling news, incoming freshman Camden McDaniel claimed his 2nd straight gold medal at the 2024 Pan American Games in Peru over the weekend. McDaniel went 3-0 and outscored his opponents 30-0 to earn the gold. And finally, the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby takes place in Arlington today. Participants include Pete Alonso, Omaha native Alec Bohm, Adolis Garcia, Gunnar Henderson, Teoscar Hernandez, Marcelo Zuna, Jose Ramirez, and Bobby Witt Jr. The event is scheduled to start in just a few minutes and can be watched on ESPN. Hour 2 of Sports Nightly is up next, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Here come the Razorbacks, bumping over the left. Gillen, she's stopped. Rick Allen, block number 11 for the team 16. They're body bumping in Lincoln.
Dillon turns, hands it off to Dowdell, left side, bounces to the outside, 40, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Dante Dowdell.
Shelley throws down low. Markowski kicks it out to Jazz, knocked away by Marshall. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Shelley for 3. You betcha! Huskers take their first lead of the game with 30 seconds left.
Here's the 2-2 pitch.
Called strike 3. Breaking ball outside corner. Make it an even 10 for McConaughey, and the Hoosiers leave 2 more here in the top of the 7th.
Now the 3-2, and Bretwell swings and hammers it deep center field. She's gone! Home run, Eva Bretwell, and a 2-0 lead for the Cornhuskers.
Tominaga with 9, 8, 7, starts down the right side, goes to the right sideline, 4 seconds, step back, 30-footer. Got it! Unbelievable! I don't believe what I just saw. Tominaga knocks it home.
Here are your hosts, Greg Sharpe and Jessica Coody on the Huskers Radio Network.
And we're back, hour 2, Sports Nightly here on a Monday night. And Camden, before you get too far away, I believe you are a bit of a gamer. And this afternoon, was it NCAA 25 dropped? Is that right?
Yes, for pre-release anyways. So if you paid a little bit
all
extra.
over my timeline right now. People are like raving about it. Have you talked to anybody that's played it yet?
Not yet. I'm going to go home and play it as soon as I'm done here.
Are you?
Oh.
Yep.
You have to give us an update.
I will. I'll play with Nebraska, and I can give you the lowdown on the ratings and whatnot.
Okay. Because that always causes controversy. Some players feel like they get way underrated. Some are way overrated. But yeah, my timeline, some of our affiliate folks that I follow, they've already played 2 or 3 games. So what, it came out today? Did you have to pre-register to get it today or what?
Yeah, you had to pay a little extra if you wanted to play today. It comes out to like everyone on Friday. But if you paid a little bit extra, you got it 3 days early.
Wow. Jess, you might be different. I've not really been into those things, but I know it's pretty big business.
Yeah, I am with you. It's just everything I'm seeing on my timelines, and I'm just blown away at how real it looks. It looks like
It does.
Real highlights, real. It's unbelievable. Just, the graphics technology, how far it's come. I am not a gamer. The only game I play / dominate is Mario Kart on Nintendo 64. So I cannot speak to anything of the college football game. So we'll have to leave it to Camden to be our video game expert, because unless it's Mario Kart, I got nothing for you, Greg.
4 hours to Lincoln in the chat room says, I always take the worst team and make them a juggernaut, like Florida International. Can you do that, Camden? Is that possible to do that? Take a Sun Belt team and go beat a SEC team? Is that possible?
Oh, yeah. I mean, because you can recruit.
Really?
There's like Dynasty, so then you can recruit your own players and build them up. So like you could be like James Madison this year, who just moved up, and you could win a championship with them.
My gosh. How about that? All right. Tomorrow night, you got to give us a full report.
Sounds good.
All right. Okay. Yeah, because I don't know enough about it just to sound like I even have any knowledge of this. But, God, it's just everywhere I looked on X today. It's just everywhere. People are all over that.
Twitter, Greg. Twitter. For the big dog. It's
I
Twitter.
do that just to make him mad. I hope he was listening right there to do that. We're about 2 weeks away from camp opening for Husker football. And Jessica, back in June, had a chance to catch up with some of the Husker football players to talk about the offseason, the summer conditioning that they were getting ready, and also getting ready to crank up for the 2024 season. One of those was Princewill Umanmielen, who's about to be a sophomore. Here's that conversation.
All right, well, you've now done this whole thing a year now. How do you feel different when you think about where you were a year ago going through all of this stuff to where you are now?
I just look at it as a blessing, knowing that I came from where I came from and seeing how the younger people that just coming in are just now learning it. So I'm just looking at it like a roller where I could just teach them to get better where they're at.
How exciting is it knowing that, when you start doing this kind of stuff, that the season's right around the corner?
It's good. I wish it could come by even faster, for real.
This year the coaches are able to get on the field with you guys a little bit more. You can practice with the football. How has that been different and what you can accomplish this summer?
We're just trying to do more team-led stuff, like player-led stuff, because coaches they can't lead the team by all this on the field. Yeah, it's gonna be player-led. So,
how important is that to become a player-led team?
Very important. Everything can't come from the coaches. We're on the field, so we need the people that's on the field to speak up and communicate with each other.
You made the switch to the jack position, right? What is it about that spot that you felt like you could be comfortable there and provide some depth there?
Just give me a little more comfortability where I can just move around, blitz, just use my speed well.
When you looked at last season, close a chapter on that, your true freshman season, what were some of the things you learned that you felt like, okay, I need to work on before I go into year two?
Really everything. Everything could get better. Everything could add a little touch to it. So I don't got nothing specific.
Yeah. How good was the experience though? Just filling it out. Did you feel like the game was slowing down, especially as the season went along?
As the season went on, I started to get comfortable. But even the first game, it was rough. But I had a lot of fun out there. So that's all that really matters.
So going through this again the second time around, I guess how much more comfortable did you feel in the defense and more like you could maybe play a little bit more free going into this year?
Yeah, once you start understanding the defense, understanding other people's roles and stuff, it makes your job way easier. So that's why I seen.
This defense set a good standard last year. What's been the message to not just settle, but to continue to raise the bar?
The people that's on our defense now, we ain't did anything with. So we got to set a new bar, set a new standard, exceed what we did last year.
Your skill set, and we talked about that, and everybody raves about your athleticism, but how much, you talked about how excited you were for Tony White's defense a year ago, but now that you've been in it, how much does it fit you and what you can provide on a football field?
It's just the same as high school. Him and my high school coach was best friends, so everything really fit all together well. So, yeah, it's good.
How much fun is it to play with him and just for him and how he sees things and gets you guys in the right spot?
Coach White's very smart defensively. He knows what he's doing, and he knows what he's talking about. All we got to do is apply what he says, and everything goes smooth. So it's really fun playing under him.
You seem bigger. Are you bigger? Have you put on weight?
I've put on a lot of weight. I'm 243 now, so yeah, it's get like that.
What was that like going through that and knowing what you needed to accomplish in the weight room and in the weight regard?
It's just getting 1% better every day. Knowing that I have a set of goal in mind, and if I want to achieve it, the weight's a part of it, so I do what I have to do.
Does it feel different out there with the weight?
Not no more. I'm used to it, but it did at first. It did, because I was even bigger than this before. Yeah.
Why was that important for you to do that, to get bigger?
Can't be a little boy on the field. Can't. Speed, not everything. You got to use some power, too.
There's a lot of guys that have put on some weight. What can you say about the strength coaching, Corey Campbell and his staff, and how he's been able to get you guys right?
Yeah, everybody's doing contributing. Even Miss Kristen, the nutritionist, and her staff, they're all doing well, getting us all right, feeding us every day, lunch, breakfast, dinner. So.
Was that something that you had to learn to do, the nutrition part of it, or did you enjoy having Kristen and that staff?
Yeah, that's a blessing. Having free food, a lot of people don't get that. So having the ability to do that, and they're providing for us, that's a blessing.
This time a year ago during the summer, we heard a lot about the volunteer stuff that you guys were doing, just the camaraderie that you were doing, getting to know each other. How important is that during this time of year, just to know your teammates beyond just in your position room?
Yeah, because OTAs, this is when the coaches leave, so this is when team bonding really matters and get to know your teammates. So when you're on the field with each other, stuff can go way smoother. You know people's weaknesses, people's strengths, so.
For you personally, what are your goals just for the rest of the summer before you hit the field for fall camp where you want to be?
I just got to get well conditioned, condition myself like I never had before.
Just how much confidence are you taking into year two, being that you were able to provide such an impact as a true freshman?
A lot. It's a new year, so I'm looking forward to doing even better things. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.
Greg, you notice, I feel like it's a pretty significant difference looking at him, just like how he was a month ago compared to where he was when I was interviewing him back in November.
He's really thickened up. Also, he's taller than I remember him being. So, I mean, I know he hadn't grown height-wise, but he's a big kid. And, he and MJ Sherman will probably go into camp as the 1 and 2 at that jack position for Nebraska. Going to need to make plays. That's a playmaking position where you expect those guys to get to the quarterback, cause havoc in the backfield. So looking forward to him. I think he's got all the tools to be a tremendous football player. Had an older brother playing at Florida, so he's coming from a family that knows how to play D1 football. But, you'd expect guys like that to take their biggest jump physically, Jess, from their freshman year to their sophomore year, because then they've had kind of a full year working with Coach Campbell in that weight room where they can really thicken up a little bit. And he looks great. Can't wait to watch him.
Yeah, I think that's a position that they've got some guys that Tony White's pretty excited to scheme around. Some guys, and like you said, they've got to do it. They've got to step up and make some plays there. But I think they really liked where that position was at coming out of spring ball, and got some talent and some really talented players. MJ Sherman was a name that I heard so much about the step that he took. And there were times last year that, he was making some really big plays. I think he's taken a huge step too, even though he was an older guy, had played football. I think just settling into this defense, being around this program. And I think he's very mature and wanting to approach it like a pro. I think he is a guy that he's one of my, probably if we did ones to watch, I think MJ Sherman could really be a huge, even bigger piece to this defense this year.
No, I agree with you. And some of that with MJ and Princewill, their value went up when Chief Borders left after spring. That was a blow because Chief was having a great spring practice. And so these guys, there's an opportunity now. There's snaps to be had for those two guys to really step up. And I think Jamari could probably slide out and play the jack. Jamari can play a lot of play. Jamari can play with his hand in the dirt or standing up like the jack does. So I think there's enough talent there to really become troublemakers for the other team's offense to get after the quarterback. But, yeah, that was fun. That was good to hear from Princewill. He's a bright young guy and getting bigger and going to be a bigger part of this program moving forward. Folks, if problem gambling is burning up your money, there's a way out. Help is free and confidential. For Nebraskans and their families, no judgment, just help. Visit lifeafterbet.com. We're back to talk some women's basketball. We'll do that next.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up for our 5th grade class recital, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-stress performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through December 28th, Castrol Edge and Edge High Mileage Motor Oil are on rollback at Walmart.
Claim based on sequence 9 test under high-load conditions versus API SP test limits.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Make it 0% APR financing. Make it a zero down payment, and make it no payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Only at your local Ford dealer.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
When it comes to finding your next vehicle, Woodhouse Buick GMC has you covered. Whether you're looking for the luxury of a Buick Enclave or the rugged capability of a GMC Sierra, our friendly and knowledgeable staff are here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs. Stop in today or visit us online at woodhousebuickgmc.com and check out all our current offers going on now. Woodhouse Buick GMC. We are professional grade.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Akrs Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs. They are the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Monday night. The Home Run Derby about ready to get going. Kind of a quiet couple days in the sports world when Major League Baseball shuts down for the All-Star break. You don't have much going on. We do have the Open Championship. The big dog wants to pick golfers again this week. He must be feeling pretty good, Jess, after his U.S. Open dominance. He must feel like that's kind of his thing to pick because he's not good at picking football games. And he must feel like this is his deal.
I was just about to say that. Of course he wants to do this because he won the last time around, and he just doesn't get to experience that winning very often when we do picks around here. So, yeah, I wasn't surprised that he was asking if we were going to do it again.
I'm up for it. You up for it?
I'm up for it.
All right. Well, we'll figure it out and do something.
You and I need to perform better this time around.
I know.
We were awful.
Oh, Victor Hovland, who's usually right there in the hunt for most majors, was terrible for me. So, oh well. We'll do better next time. Well, Jessica has been working on a series of reports of introducing all of you to new Husker student athletes. We continue that tonight with Bertie Rimdal, a new member of the women's basketball team.
the transfer. We talked to the 3 freshmen. Now we talk to the transfer edition out of the transfer portal and from Florida, coming most recently from Florida, Alberte Rimdal. But you go by Birdie, right?
Yes, yeah.
Just Birdie. So Husker fans are rooting for you. Just Birdie's all right, right?
Birdie is perfect.
Well, welcome to Lincoln. You just got here this week. How's it been settling in this week?
It's been awesome. I am just so excited to be here. Yeah.
You just got back from Denmark, right? You got to go back home and spend some time with the family. How was that?
It was awesome. I was home for about 2 months, just spending time with my family, hanging out. It was awesome.
Did it give you, it can be such a grind to do a college basketball season. Did it give you a little bit of a reset? You feel rejuvenated?
Yeah, I feel ready to just work and give my everything.
So how was it just getting right into the gym? We saw a social media video yesterday.
Yeah.
You're doing synchronized three-pointers with Britt Prince. How has it been getting into the gym?
Oh, it's been awesome. I've just been so excited, and I'm just eager to learn all the plays, everything, just play with the girls. They're all super nice, and the coaches, so excited.
So you transferred from Florida. Take us through that decision to decide to transfer, to get into the transfer portal, and then how you landed on Nebraska.
Yeah, so it was a hard decision, of course. I've been at Florida for 3 years, but I was just ready to find a new home. And then when I started to talk to Nebraska, it just felt like home from the start. And when I came to visit here, the girls were super nice. All the coaches was just super sweet and cool, and I like how disciplined it is. I like the program and where it's going. So I'm just so excited to finally
awesome.
be here.
You can see you seem so joyful.
Yes.
Did you work with Julian Asibe then? Yes.
Yes,
Yeah?
I did. He was my assistant coach for my freshman and sophomore year at Florida.
How nice was that, just having somebody that you had a relationship with, you trusted? Because, we talked to a lot of the transfer portal athletes, and I know it can be probably overwhelming, but to already have that relationship with Coach Asibe, how nice was that?
It was so nice because he is just such a sweet and positive person. So I was just so happy that he was here too. It was just perfect.
He's got such a fun personality, infectious personality. What's it like playing for him? What is it that sets him apart as a coach?
Oh, he is just always positive. He has such great energy. He is just so smiley all the time. So it's just great to be around him.
Veteran guard, shooter, Coach Williams likes to have guards that are versatile, that can do a lot of things. How much, when you were diving into also just the system that's in place here, that you felt like your game would translate to what the Huskers do? Yeah, I'm so excited. I've watched a lot of Nebraska's games last year because I was trying to find out what school I would fit in. So I'm just so excited. I like the way they play. They play together. They shoot a lot of threes. They have great post players. So I just feel like it's a perfect program. You are a three-point shooter. I read you had a quote somewhere that said, "I can shoot all day long." I love to put in the work. Where does that come from? Why do you just love to shoot? I don't know. I work very hard. I could just stay in the gym all day, honestly. I love to shoot. I love the process of working and just seeing development and stuff like that. So, yeah, I just love being in the gym. You come from a basketball family, right? Tell us about that. Yeah, my dad used to play basketball. My big sister started playing, and then I started playing in second grade, where my dad was my first coach. So I just played with all my friends from school, and now my brother plays too. So everybody plays. How was Dad as a coach? It was fun. It was cool. He's a great coach. He taught me a lot of stuff, so that was nice. What was it when you started playing, and again, coming from a basketball family, but what was it where you found your own love for it, that you fell in love with the game? Yeah, I think I am a very competitive player, so just always wanting to be better and wanting to be better than the next person. And I looked up to a lot of the girls from national team, and so I just wanted to be as good as them, and I wanted to go to college. So I just think that's where my love is from. That's awesome. When you start, getting into the later years and thinking about, okay, what's next for me, take us through just the process and the decision to want to play college basketball in the United States and how that all unfolded for you. Yeah, so in Denmark, basketball is not that big of a sport. So if you want to have an education at the same time as playing at the best level, a college is just the perfect way. So I knew that very early I wanted to play
And then after college, I want to play professional.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what's the, I guess, access to watching sports in Denmark and women's basketball and college basketball?
Oh, it's kind of hard to watch that, honestly, because you need to have, like, all these, like, I don't even know what it's, like, all the Big Ten, like, networks, all that. So you can't just watch it on the TVs. You have to find ways around.
So what was that adjustment like then when you got to college and figuring out how to play at this level?
Oh, it was different, a lot different. People, well, I played in the SEC. It was a lot of athletic girls, faster pace, just more physical. So I had to, yeah, it was a big difference, but very nice difference.
You played for the national team, the Danish women's national team. What's that like? How much did that help you grow into the player and push you and I guess improve your game?
Oh, that helped a lot. I love playing for my national team. We play against the best players in the world, Europe. We went to Japan last year, got to play them. So it's just awesome to get to see different places, get to play against different countries. And yeah, it teaches you a lot.
Not a lot of people get that opportunity. What's it like to represent your country? It's got to be a lot of pride.
It is a lot of pride. I just love to wear Denmark across my chest and just play my heart out.
So being that, you're coming in, you have some experience coming from the SEC, what do you hope to bring to this team and how do you go about fitting in and finding your role?
Yeah, so I think I can bring a lot to the table. I can shoot the three very well. I have some experience. Yeah, I'm just excited. I can bring it up the floor. I can just be whatever they want me to be. And I love to play defense too.
Oh, yes. we like that. It seems to be a common theme when you talk to the women's basketball players about the culture and how close-knit they are. And a lot of people say that, but it just seems different. So I guess what's your perspective of that and how important was that for you when you decided to transfer?
It was very important. When I came on my visit here, I could just feel how all the girls were just like this. It was just so cool to be around, and I just wanted to be a part of that. They are all so genuine, and they just love each other, so that's just amazing to be a part of.
You're established, you played a lot of college basketball, incredible shooter, but what part of your game are you looking to improve, to maybe get better at going into this season?
Yeah, I'm looking to improve on creating my own shots, just reading the defense, finding the right solutions and reads, yeah.
I mentioned that there's a video out on social media with you and Britt Prince and local kid. Everybody's excited for her, but how excited are you about the talent and the potential of this basketball team and what you guys can maybe do this season?
I'm so excited. They had an awesome season last year, so I'm just excited to build on that. Yeah, as you said, they have some great freshmen coming in, so yeah, and I have been practicing the last 3 days with them. It's just been awesome, and I'm just so excited to see where we can go this year.
You seem like such a happy and joyful person. You're smiling the whole time. What makes you that way?
I'm just happy. I'm just happy to finally be here. I'm always positive, honestly. I see the good in everything.
I love that. I love that. Well, welcome. So glad to have you here.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to big things coming up from you and Nebraska women's basketball coming up this season.
Thank you so much.
Greg, she's so bubbly, so positive. I just really enjoyed chatting with her. And I think she's going to provide some big help. Just as a veteran guard, can do a lot of different things. And as a shooter, and as I mentioned earlier, just with Amy Williams talking about getting her in the gym. I talked to her there I think it was the last week of June. And so she had gone home to Denmark, came back, and so was practicing for the first time and just immediately could tell that this was someone that has played Power 5 conference basketball in the SEC and just, the physicality of it, just her ability to understand her body and how to get open and when she's being guarded tough, how to maneuver that. And with freshmen, sometimes, you look at some of the freshmen that come in, that's an adjustment to figure out the physicality of it because it's a step up in that, but that she can already feel that and know that and just all the things she could do. A versatile guard, exactly like Amy Williams likes. And then, with the loss of Jazz Shelley graduating, I think she fills some of that void of having that veteran presence as a guard out there.
you look at that roster, and we talk about a veteran presence. It kind of needs it. I mean, they had a big freshman class last year. We love that group, highlighted by Natalie Potts. Big incoming freshman class this year. You need a couple people that have gone through the rigors of a college basketball season a couple times. So I think that was a need. And you might not think that because we're so familiar with a lot of those names, but I think she's going to help in the leadership department of this team, and obviously she's a good player, so she can do that as well. But that's going to be a good team. I'm really anxious for their non-conference schedule to drop. I think it's close. The men's came out last week, but I'm really anxious to see what Amy Williams puts together for her non-conference schedule.
And, as we talked about the other night with the men's basketball schedule and the RPI being so good for the Big Ten and how much that improves your strength of schedule going into the Big Ten, women's basketball for the Big Ten hasn't had as much, I guess, help in that regard.
Right.
And when the NCAA committee goes together, they don't put as many teams in. They don't get as much love, the Big Ten women's basketball, as the men's basketball has in recent years. Now, the addition of some of those Pac-12 schools should help, absolutely.
Yeah.
But, the women's basketball team has to add some pretty great matchups to help overall their resume and strength of schedule, maybe in a way that the men don't have to as much, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more depth on the men's side, but you're right, with the 4 additions, and UCLA, USC are both good programs. Oregon's been a terrific program. Washington's been okay, not great, but there's been a division in the Big Ten on the women's side. You've had that upper tier, 5-6 schools that are really good, but there was separation to the bottom part where you knew you were going to beat Wisconsin night in and night out. You were going to beat Rutgers night in and night out. So you had games where you felt like, all right, this is kind of a gimme game. I think hopefully those teams come up. You want the bottom to be better to add some depth. But that's a good point. But I do think the 4 schools coming in are going to really bolster the strength of Big Ten women's basketball. Good to hear from Bertie. She's going to fit in beautifully here in Lincoln. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. More of the show coming up next.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
From the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, I'm broadcasting major Macy Byers with Campus News. The U.S. Department of Agriculture is building the first federal research center for climate-smart precision ag at UNL's Innovation Campus. News of the $160 million USDA facility comes as Nebraska prepares to build the new N-Farms platform near Meade, which will be among the largest precision ag research sites for universities across the nation.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Make it 0% APR financing. Make it a zero down payment, and make it no payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest's premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Greg Sharpe, Jessica Coody back with you here on a Monday night. We've been on the air. Home Run Derby is underway. Apparently, just an awful rendition of the national anthem sung by Ingrid Andres, who apparently is an award-winning singer, but man, I'm looking on X and people are talking about my ears are bleeding, make it stop, worst one I've ever heard. Wow, I got to go listen to it. That piques my interest.
I haven't heard, but that's not good for her. Uh-oh. It looks like they've got some videos already posted, so we'll have to listen to it in the break. But it looks like some of the players were laughing. So it reminds me of when Fergie sang at the All-Star, and you got close-ups of some of the NBA players that were trying to keep it in. And but yeah, I would not want to sing the national anthem. I can tell you that.
No, that's a lot of pressure, and for those entertainers, that could hurt your career. I mean, if you want to try to get out there and get your name out there so people maybe go buy your, I don't like to call them albums anymore, but download your music and all that type of stuff. And if you stink like that, you're just going to be nothing but a laughing stock. What's not a laughing stock, and Camden had this in the ticker, congrats to Josh Caron, 4th round draft pick today of the Mariners. And then Brett Sears goes in the 7th round to the Braves. Happy for both those guys. Had a feeling Josh was a 3rd to 5th round pick. Went right in the middle of the 4th round, so that was kind of right on. Didn't know about Brett because he's a senior and you don't have your leverage anymore. You can't threaten teams to go back to college. A little bit older guys, sometimes major league teams are scared off for that, but he had such a great year, Big Ten Pitcher of the Year, that glad that he got picked. And, man, the Braves love Huskers. I mean, they've got Aaron Bummer and Spencer Schwellenbach both currently on their major league rosters, so he'll have a shot. Drew Christo could go tomorrow. The last day of the draft is tomorrow, rounds 11 through 20. And then a couple guys that Will Bolt signed back in November, high school players, junior college players, also could get picked. This is the dicey part of the draft. This is the bad part of college baseball, is that you can spend so much time and effort on recruiting young men, and then in the summer they get drafted, and they never make it to campus. It's got to be a really frustrating thing for college baseball coaches to put all that effort in. And there are a couple of young men from one from Norris and one from Millard West who had signed with SEC schools who both got drafted pretty high, and they've already said they're going pro. So Arkansas and some of those schools who put a lot of time and effort into those two individuals don't get the benefits of them. But congrats to Josh Caron. That's fantastic. 4th round pick. That's in the top 130. So that means they think pretty highly of you. So hopefully he'll be able to make a dent in that organization. All-Star Home Run Derby tonight. The game's tomorrow night. I used to love the game, Jessica, but now because of interleague play, they all play each other. They all wear one uniform. I loved it when they would wear their own team's uniforms. I don't know why they did away with that. So I'm not as excited about the All-Star game as I was growing up. It was just a big-time event when I was a young boy, but kind of lost the luster. I mean, I'll probably flip it on tomorrow night, but I'm not nearly as excited about it.
I've always found it crazy that baseball and the draft and players that are seniors, football players can have a great fifth year, senior year, whatever, and still be highly drafted. Same thing with basketball players, but it's crazy with baseball. Brett Sears, if he would have had the year that he had this year as a junior or sophomore, where do you think he would have been graded? Or
he would have been in the top 3 rounds.
Yeah.
So, but now you've added another year, particularly with pitchers, you've added another year of wear and tear on their arms.
Right.
And that's what these organizations know. They know how many pitches you've thrown in your life, and if you started pitching in high school, by the time you've been and he was a fifth-year senior, so he'd thrown a lot of innings in college baseball. So he's an older guy, but happy for him. 7th round is good. He won't get the money that a normal 7th rounder would get. Josh Caron signing bonus is going to be around $600K. That's really good. That's pretty good starter money for anybody coming out of college. So good for him. And this was not a big year for Huskers with a lot of veteran guys in their team, unlike last year with Max and Bryce, who you knew would go. Nebraska's and Will Bolt's got a lot of players back. I mean, you could pretty well name his starting 9 right now, which that'll be a luxury for him going into next season, and that's why they've not hit the portal very hard, because they don't have a lot of open spots on their team. But happy for Brett and Josh. I'll be watching tomorrow to see if Drew Christo gets drafted. I think he probably will. Will it be enough to keep him away from coming back for next year? I don't know. We'll see what Drew's decision will be.
How quickly do you think Josh Caron could move up?
I don't think he could sniff the big leagues for probably 3 years. I think it'll be a slow rise for him. But Bryce Matthews is already to Double-A 1 year later. Max is still in Single-A, but Bryce is doing really well for the Astros. And so Bryce has a shot maybe late next year to be in the big leagues. So that's pretty exciting.
But still, here we are yet again talking about, 4th rounder. That is nothing to ho-hum about. And the fact that Will Bolt continues to do this year in and year out and putting guys, he's proving that, hey, we can develop you. Come here, we continue to, because that's everybody's dream, right? And so continuing to put guys high in the draft never hurts on the old recruiting front.
No doubt. They all, like we said with the other sports, basketball or football, all those kids come on campus thinking they're going to be a big leaguer or an NBA star or play in the NFL. It's so hard. And the numbers bear it out. It's just a small portion that get to do that. Also good news for Jack McVeigh. Camden mentioned that Jack was on the Australian Olympic team and scored, Camden, was it 10 points or 9 points against Team USA today?
9.
He has now agreed to a two-way deal with the Rockets. So he's going to get a crack at an NBA camp coming up when he gets the Olympic Games over. So good for Jack McVeigh, 9-point scores today against Team USA. USA won, but not by a bunch. The men to me, Jess, I know they're the favorites to win the gold, but not by much. There's some other good countries at play. I think the women win pretty easily in the Olympic Games coming up in a couple weeks. But I think the men are going to be in a fight, I think, to win the gold.
Well, and I think, too, something to note is that a lot of these countries play year-round together. And Team USA just gets put together a couple weeks before, and you got a lot of guys that play a lot of different roles, a lot of them that are used to being the superstars of their team. How do you get them to gel and come together? It's not an easy task. And figuring out, I think that's why you see them play sloppy here in these exhibition games. And it seems like it happens every single Olympic year that it takes a minute for them to really get going. And then you're also seeing the talent in the world elevating in other places. I mean, look at Luka Doncic and all the, some of the other foreigners that you're now seeing in the NBA that go back and play for their countries, that it just continues, I think, every year to elevate some of the other countries that used to maybe not have much of a chance, that they've got some of these NBA type talent players, and a lot of them have been playing together all year, and then you add some of these superstars, and it just I think it plays a difference. The Australian women's national team, that was one of the things with Jazz Shelley, is she has a dream. She wants to eventually play for that team, but when she was making the decision to either come back and play her final year here at Nebraska, it was play your final collegiate season or go try to make the Olympic team for Team Australia, because they want you to be around and play for that team for a year. Just for most countries, it's typically what they do, but it's just not the case for Team USA, and so it sometimes takes them a little bit longer to get going.
Great point, because the USA team just gathered in Vegas about 2 weeks ago. So they had about 10 days of practice, and they're out playing games. They played Canada last week, Australia today. They've got another game coming up in a day or two. So they're getting these warm-up games before the Olympic Games begin. But we're not far from the Olympics. Today's the 15th, 11 days from the opening ceremonies. I can't wait. Love the Olympic Games. Going to be fun to watch those games from Paris. All right, when we come back, our weekend winners as we get ready to wrap up our Monday show. That's next.
Woodhouse Cadillac, where luxury meets performance. Discover the latest Cadillac models designed with cutting-edge technology and unbelievable design. Thanks to our streamlined buying process, you can start right now and explore financing options, view our large inventory, and even schedule a test drive, all from home. Come visit Woodhouse Cadillac in-store or online at woodhousecadillac.com and check out all of our current offers going on now.
Husker Nation, your women's basketball team is gearing up for another incredible season, and you can be right in the heart of the action. Join the season ticket request list today and guarantee your spot for another year of Husker dominance. Witness every key basket, every clutch steal, and celebrate every victory with the most dedicated fans in the nation. Don't wait. Head over to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat for an unforgettable season. Go Big Red.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Make it 0% APR financing. Make it a zero down payment, and make it no payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Woodhouse Auto Family, your trusted auto partner. 20 brands, 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Final segment of our Monday show. We always save this for everybody's weekend winners. Camden, I'll let you go first because you were saying you were struggling to find one for this week.
All right, I'll go first. It's one you mentioned from this last segment, actually, but I'm just going to give it up for all the baseball players that have Nebraska ties that got drafted. You mentioned Josh Caron and Brett Sears, and then you briefly mentioned the two high school players out of Nebraska that are going to bypass their colleges. So that is Tyson Lewis, who was supposed to go to Arkansas, but he was taken in the second round of the draft.
Millard West kid, yeah.
51st overall pick to the Reds. I remember watching him at the state tournament, and he hit a mammoth home run in, I think, the semifinal game. And then Cale Fountain of Norris was selected in the 5th round of the draft, 151st overall by the San Diego Padres.
So I think he was committed to LSU. I think Fountain was.
Yes, he was.
So two local products. Good for them. That's fantastic. And, hey, they're going to get big signing bonuses, and it's hard to tell an 18-year-old man. And you're not guaranteed to get that down the road. I mean, if you don't go succeed in college, you might have given away your lottery ticket to make some money. So it's it's a big risk if you get drafted pretty high to not take the check and go try your hand at professional baseball. So it's a real risky deal, and I'm glad I'm not in a position to make those decisions. All right, Jess, what do you have?
Listen, Greg, I was all set at about, 5 o'clock yesterday evening to come in here and give it up to my quote-unquote cousin, distant relative, Pearson Coody, for his first PGA win. But it slips out of his hands. He had led almost wire to wire. But Harry Hall ends up getting the win. It comes down to a 5-man playoff, which is crazy. Yeah. And Harry Hall wins his first PGA Tour victory, and I think he's about to have a baby with his wife. It's I think any day now or in the next week or so. So he gets a big win going into before the birth of his child. But man, I thought for sure I was going to get to call my relative's name, Pearson Coody, for a big win. But I think it's coming. He is playing very, very well. His name continues to be at the top of the leaderboards. And he's, at one point they said he's one of the best putters on the tour, which obviously runs in the family, But so I'll give it up to Harry Hall for my weekend winner.
Very good. If you like professional golf, there were some amazing finishes yesterday. The Scottish Open was incredible. McIntyre drained about a 15-foot putt to break a tie with Adam Scott. If the LIV tournament went to a playoff, Sergio Garcia won that. So there was some terrific golf on TV over the weekend. Before I name my winner, I do want to give a shout out to all the people that helped and made the road race possible yesterday at Memorial Stadium. A lot of people put a lot of hours into that to make that thing run smoothly. So congratulations to everybody. I know you had to battle the heat yesterday, but a very successful road race. And so kudos to all the people that spend countless hours organizing that, helping get the forms filled out, doing all the logistics for the event. So congratulations to them. But my winner is going to be Spencer Schwellenbach, the former Husker who got drafted a couple years ago, pitched against the Padres Friday night against another Husker in Matt Waldron. Spencer was terrific. 7 innings, only gave up 3 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts. He's now 3-4 with the Braves and should break the second half as part of their rotation. So that's a guy that made it pretty quick from 2021 when he wrapped up his Husker career to here in 2024. Part of a big league team. It's pretty impressive for Spencer Schwellenbach. So he's my weekend winner. Tomorrow night, we're going to resume our position breakdowns. And Jess, we're going to hear from Garrett McGuire. And man, I think he's added some talent to that room. I can't wait to hear what he says about some of these guys.
Yeah, it's a mix, right? And so you got some of the young crop of the trio of freshmen that we saw had to step in last year, and specifically Jalen Lloyd and Malachi Coleman. And then you add some really, really, really great wide receivers and Jamal Banks and
Nayor.
Yeah, Isaiah Nayor. And so those two guys, and then I think they've got some really, really great pieces in that room. You can tell he's really excited about that room. So it's a interesting mixture, but I think it's definitely I think it's a step up in talent. And then you get IGC back and some of those guys, but I think they've got some really talented wide receivers this year.
I agree.
Not that they didn't before, but I think it's stepping up a notch this year.
Totally agree. And I think they've got somebody that can get him the ball accurately. So that's part of it as well. So can't wait to hear from Garrett tomorrow night here on the program. Also, Rex Burkhead, who last week was named the Nebraska Football Hall of Fame. He's going to be here. And Connor Esijan, Husker basketball player. Now, Connor's 2 days away, right? Connor's a couple days
I was like, wait a second.
Not tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, not tomorrow. He'll be Wednesday. We are going to hear from him this week.
Yeah, we're supposed to get Connor on Wednesday. Looking forward to hearing from him. He's the sharp shooting guard that transferred from Wisconsin, now part of Fred Hoiberg's basketball team. So tomorrow night, Rex Burkhead, also Garrett McGuire. Looking forward to hearing from both of them tomorrow night here on the program. Thanks to Camden for steering the ship tonight. Thanks to all of you for being a part of the Monday night show. Enjoy the rest of your night. We're back with another full 2 hours tomorrow. Have yourself a good evening. Good night.
The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Make it 0% APR financing. Make it a 0 down payment, and make it no payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Hi, I'm a baseball umpire. My job can get pretty stressful. I have to keep my eyes open at all times, and if I don't make the right call, people boo me. So to relax, I visit a Nebraska lottery retailer like this one and buy some scratch tickets. It always calms me down. Hey, you cut in line.
I did not.
All right, you're out of here.
Hey, he didn't cut.
All right, you're out of here.
I feel better already. The Nebraska Lottery. Top prize odds vary by game.
Shop Woodhouse Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Blair and Bellevue during the Make This the Summer event going on right now. Browse our full lineup of SUVs, like the confident and spacious new Jeep Grand Cherokee L with third-row seating, offering plenty of room for the entire family on your summer adventures. Visit one of our 2 convenient locations in Blair or Bellevue, or start your car buying journey online at WoodhouseCDJRBellevue.com or WoodhouseChryslerJeepDodge.com today. Serving our customers since 1991, this is Woodhouse.